Welcome to Raising the Rain Part 3. Last we left off, we were talking about what breed Enzo thinks he is, and how Enzo got him. Let's continue on. I remember the heat on the day I left the farm. Every day was hot and spangled, and I thought the world was just about a hot place because I never knew what cold was about. I had never seen rain, didn't know much about water. Water was the stuff in the buckets that the older dogs drank, and it was the stuff the alpha man sprayed out of the hose and into the faces of dogs who might want to pick a fight. But the day Danny arrived was exceptionally hot. My litter mates and I were tussling around like we always did, and a hand reached into the pile and suddenly I was dangling in the air. "This one," a man said. It was my first glimpse of the rest of my life. He was slender, with long and lean muscles. Not a large man, but strong. He had keen, icy blue eyes. His choppy hair and short, scruffy beard were dark and wiry, like an Irish terrier. "The pick of the litter," the lady said. She was nice. I always liked it when she cuddled us on her soft lap. The sweetest, the best. "We were thinking of keeping him," the alpha man said, stepping up with his big boots caked with mud from the creek where he was patching a fence. That was the line he always used. Heck, I was only a pup, only a dozen weeks old, and I'd heard that line a bunch of times. He used it to get more money. "Will you let him go?" "For a price," the alpha man said, squinting at the sky bleached a pale blue by the sun. "Very gently, like there are eggshells on your petals," Danny always says. "And you don't want to break them. That's how you drive in the rain." When we watch videos together, which we've done ever since the very first day I met him, he explains these things to me. Oh, I forgot to say, Chapter 3. Balance, anticipation, and patience. These are all vital. Using your side vision, seeing things you've never seen before. Feeling the road, driving by the seat of the pants. That's what I've always liked best, is when he talks about having no memory. No memory of things he'd done just a second before, good or bad. Because memory is time folding back on itself. To remember is to leave the present. In order to reach any kind of success in automobile racing, a driver must never remember. This is why drivers compulsively record their every move, their every race, with cockpit cameras and in-car video. A driver cannot be a witness to his own greatness. This is what Danny says. He says racing is doing. It is being a part of a moment in time and being aware of nothing else but that moment. The great champion Julian Sabella Rosa has said, "When I am racing, my mind and my body are working so quickly and so well together. I must be sure not to think, or else I will definitely make a mistake." Chapter 4. Denny moved me far from the farm in Spangle to a Seattle neighborhood named Leschi. He lived in a little apartment that he rented on Lake Washington. I didn't enjoy the apartment living so much, but as I was used to wide open spaces, and I was very much still a puppy. Still, we had a balcony that overlooked the lake, which gave me pleasure since I am part water dog on my mother's side. During the first forged a deep fondness for each other, as well as a feeling of trust. Which is why I was surprised when he fell in love with Eve so quickly. He brought her home when she was sweet-smelling, like him, full of fermented drinks that made them both act funny. They were hanging on each other and pulling on each other, tugging and biting playfully. It kind of reminded me the way I used to wrestle with my litter mates, only different somehow. When he went to the bathroom, she patted my head, which hovered low to the floor. Me still being immature and at just over a year old, a little bit intimidated by all the goings-on, she said, I won't come between you." I respected her for asking, and I knew that she would come between us,
and I found her denial to be untruthful. I try not to act off-putting because I know how much Danny liked her. But I have to admit, I didn't embrace her presence. And because of that, she was less than embracing in front of me. We were both satellites, orbiting Denny's sun, struggling for his affection. Of course, she had the advantage of her tongue and her thumbs, and when I watched her kiss and hold his hand, sometimes she would glance at me and wink about as if to gloat, "Look at my thumbs, see what they can do." Alright, I'm going to end it here because this is the end of chapter 4. See ya in part 4.